Hi, welcome to Ms. Cooper's art class. Today I'm going to be showing you how I would go about drawing a moon. Not necessarily the moon, just a moon. We're making it up today. So for today's video, I'm using a couple different shades of paper and pens. I have black paper and white paper with circles already traced out, a little bit of scratch paper. I also have white and gray Jelly Roll pens, and I have black and gray Pigma Micron pens by the Sakura company. These are my favorite types of gel pens and felt tip pens to use. So the moon, right? The moon, start with a circle, or blob like I did, and then put in some interesting craters, and then put in some deeper seas. These are not actually craters, they're called seas on the moon, like the Sea of Tranquility, for example. And these are just kind of shadowy blobs. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it when they go to draw the moon, but we're just drawing a moon. It's not necessarily the Earth's moon that we're familiar with. What I'm doing, starting with the white paper and the black micron pen, is I outlined a tiny circle in the bottom right corner to be a dramatic crater like Tycho, the one we are probably familiar with from our moon. And then I also have a crater in white on black inside a sea. You'll notice there's different ways that these craters contrast inside the moon. All of these little seas and craters are kind of disjointed right now because I want to create some interesting focal points and figure out where those are going before I all connect them together with some medium to light values. By focal point, I mean something that is interesting to look at and places where we want our viewers' eyes to go inside of our artwork. So you can see inside those seas there are a couple light areas. I'm slowing it down for just a second so you can see the contrast in here. Otherwise, nobody can see anything that's happening on this moon. So we want to leave the light areas fairly light, let the dark areas be dark so we can have that contrast. So now I'm showing this to you with white gel pen on black paper. I think people forget that adults can use gel pens for their artwork and that we can use paper that isn't white. So I'm showing this to you here. This one took a longer time to do because the moon is actually more light than dark, so I had to spend a lot of time putting down all these stippled white dots. I did keep my black and white moon on the white paper nearby so that these moons would look similar to each other just for the purposes of the video so you can see the differences between the materials. However, you do whatever you want with this moon. Try different craters, try different sizes of craters, try different contrast and different seas, do what you want. It will still look like a moon. Just remember to keep that contrast in there and you'll do just fine. So you can see my seas are a little different in that one, still similar. Just for fun, I also tried using a gray Jelly Roll pen on my black paper. Jelly Roll pens come in a couple different shades of gray if you're looking for something a little more serious and toned down than maybe the colors you used as a kid with gel pens, and I thought it was interesting for the moon because it did give it a more toned down, kind of less harsh look. Like if I were looking to hang this up in my home, this wouldn't stand out as much if I just wanted it to be kind of a nice decoration in the background, but maybe not make a huge statement with it. And then I also tried using one of the gray Pigma Microns on the white paper, which I know is a little bit harder to see in this video, but it does create something really subtle. I had to think carefully about my dot placement on this one though, and really boost that contrast to make that gray show up and still stand out as C's. Every once in a while, what you don't see is I also had to pull these away from the camera for a second in between shots and just take another look at the dots so I didn't strain my eyes, kind of trying to look around my camera setup to try to get this done. So be kind to your eyes, be kind to your hands, take some breaks, look at it different ways, allow your eyes to unfocus for a minute, whatever you need to do. All right, so here's the final product, and I know this is actually kind of far away for seeing the details, but I want you to see the difference between the contrast in the ones on the left, where they're strictly in black and white, versus the ones that are gray on white or gray on black with the gel pen and the micron pen. You can see how these have a very different feeling. They both still look like the moon, but if you're thinking carefully about your artwork contrast, you can make those decisions. You don't have to only use black and white materials. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give this a try, and happy art making.